What an absolutely wild trade deadline day for Major League Baseball. I love the trade deadline. I don't care which sport it is. Baseball, basketball, football. Normally, football doesn't give us a lot, but baseball, especially this year, the parity is so good. So many teams are still in it. You can tell who is done, who is selling. You can tell who's ready to fight to make the playoffs and just for a chance at making a deep run. I absolutely love it. Who are the buyers? Who are the sellers? What does the landscape look like now? All that and more. Here we go. Oh my goodness gracious. Another Major League Baseball trade deadline day is in the books, and it was phenomenal to be able to watch. I love the trade deadline. I love watching general managers figure out, are they actually going to be competitive? Can they really make a run? And just all the different aspects. It's awesome. It gets me pumped up. I've got, as you guys know, I've got currently active 9 fantasy football leagues that are active. Still got a draft and a couple of the other ones that'll start out. But in every single one of those leagues right now, I have at least one trade out. At least one. I love making deals to make my team better. I use a lot of the websites to make sure the deals are fair. And I love the roster construction of organized sports. It is something that gets me so excited. I love being able to do it. I am not the Madden player who figured out the glitches. I'm not the Madden player who figured out all the cheats or the codes. I'm the Madden guy. I play Madden. I play MLB. I play NBA 2K for one reason. Franchise mode and franchise mode alone. You can keep all the other crap. I don't care. I want to build the team. I will normally take the worst team and try to make the moves that build them into a team that can compete. So I love the deadline. And you can tell there are a couple of teams that have decided this year is not the year for them to be able to make moves. It is very clear. Number one, the Minnesota Twins. You'll find out they made so many different moves. The Minnesota Twins are officially out on this year. They don't feel they've got the team that can compete, and they got more value getting everything and selling different parts of their team. Another team is the Baltimore Orioles. Now, I heard somebody say, of course the Orioles gave up. I mean, they're last in their division. Au contrary-wise, they're last in their division, but their record is 50-59. The Twins' record is 51-57. They're not that far behind. So let's not get this screwed up. The Orioles are only 13 and a half back from first place heading into August. It's July 31st. Heading into August, they are only 13 and a half back from first place. But as many have already commented, and I have been watching and looking, this is the move. They got rid of older, expiring contracts. They got a huge prospect haul. I mean, they have got a ton of prospects in these deals that they made. Absolutely huge. Another one, obviously the Pirates are out. What a shock. Nothing new there. The Nationals obviously are looking forward to the future. And really it does look like the Diamondbacks are officially out and they're going to focus on next year. They're going to focus on retooling and getting ready for next year. They are 12 games back of the Dodgers in the division. They're 51 and 58. So it kind of seems like that is the cutoff. You're about 7-8 games below 500. That seems to be the cutoff. Everybody's starting to sell. A team that was still buying up until the very end was the Braves. Because, I mean, they have 3 starting pitchers on the 60-day injured list. They've been hit really bad. This year is a down year, and obviously we'll see what happens next year. But we're going to go back to the beginning of this week. Okay? So we're going to go back to Monday the 28th. That's when we're going to start the deadline deals, and I'm going to give you the deals. And then we'll talk about some of them here a little bit later. I don't want the video to run way too long, but I do want to hit a couple different things, as this will probably be one of the final 5 videos I do on baseball for the year. Like I said, I'll do the next baseball one will be the August setup after the trades have settled. I actually won't do that until the end of this week, so probably Monday's episode. After Sunday's games are done, let all the trades settle down, the waivers settle down, and everything else. So it probably only got 5 total more videos on baseball, because football is king, and it is back it's being played right now for the Hall of Fame game. So going back to the 28th. So I'll make a comment on some of the stuff from Sunday because of how it played out. So on Sunday, the Braves acquired a pitcher from the Cardinals, which look like they're selling as well, to help their starting rotation. They got Eric Fetty from the Cardinals for a player to be named later or cash. The Yankees acquired Ahmad Rosario for depth on the infield. And then the Royals acquired from the Diamondbacks outfielder Randall Grichuk, and that's to help bolster the power they have. And the Orioles earlier already started trading. They traded Gregory Soto to the Mets for 2 prospects. So it started early, and then we get to Monday. The Braves ended up acquiring Carlos Carrasco from the Yankees. Again, not really sure why, except for the fact that the Yankees needed that cash to be able to then go make the trades they made. The Tigers made an in-division trade with the Twins. They got Chris Paddock and Randy Dobnak from the Twins for Enrique Jimenez, the backup catcher. Then the Tampa Bay Rays did acquire Nick Fortes from the Marlins. For Matthew Edsel is more of a low-key move. But the Blue Jays acquired in the middle of a doubleheader. This was awesome. On Tuesday, in the middle, they had the Orioles and the Jays had a doubleheader. Between the 2 games, Sir Anthony Dominguez gets traded from the Orioles to the Blue Jays. So he plays for the Orioles in Game 1, and he played for the Blue Jays in Game 2. Absolutely wild. It can't happen in any other sport except baseball. Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. The Tigers then continued adding more players. They got Rafael Montero from the Braves. Well, then the Braves acquired a aging bullpen arm in Tyler Kinney from the Rockies. The Rockies got some prospects for some of their older players in this trade deadline. I give them credit. Like I've said, the Rockies are not nearly as bad as the record indicates. They had a really, really bad start, but they are definitely coming. You don't want to play them. Let's put it that way. They're not an easy W. The Angels, who are vying really hard to be able to make the playoffs. Acquired left-handed pitcher Andrew Chafin and Luis Garcia, right-handed pitcher from the Nationals, for Jake Eder, and infielder from AAA Sam Brown. So the Angels made a big move to bolster their bullpen, which had been an issue. The Yankees acquired then Austin Slater from the White Sox, who has already had a base running gaffe, of course, already sitting all over social media. For Gage Zeal, the Mariners acquired left-handed pitcher Caleb Ferguson from the Pirates, we already knew they were selling, but nonetheless for Jeter Martinez. Astros acquired utility man infielder Ramon Urias from the Orioles for Twin Palmer. That's an underrated move. The Orioles were very smart. I will give them credit. The Orioles were very, very, very smart on this deadline. How they turn these players into players that they can control for future was really good. I mean, really good. I'm rather impressed. The Red Sox acquired Steven Matz from the Cardinals. They need starting pitching help. Matt's health is obviously an issue, we know. But they traded him for infielder Blaze Jordan. The Cubs then late 10:45 at night traded and got Michael Soroka from the Nationals for Christian Franklin and Ronnie Cruz. The Cubs needed starting rotation help. I like Soroka. I think he actually fits what the Cubs needed to do. The Blue Jays then on today, early this morning, acquired Brandon Venezuela from the Padres for Will Wagner. The Reds acquired Miguel Andujar from the Athletics. The Athletics made some really good trades today too. For Kenya Huggins, the Angels acquired Oswald Peraza from the Yankees, which was again a move for the Yankees to be able to get who they wanted because they wanted to open up money. And the Royals then acquired left-handed pitcher Bailey Falter from the Pirates. Tigers got the right-handed pitcher Cody Hewer from the Rangers, basically for cash considerations for what the Rangers were going to be trying to do later. The Dodgers did make a move in the offensive area. They made a move getting Alex Call from the Nationals for two prospect right-handed pitchers. The Rangers then made another move, acquiring Phil Maton from the Cardinals for two prospect pitchers as well from the Cardinals, Mason Molina and Skylar Hales. Then they made another trade right afterwards, getting Danny Colombe from the Twins for Garrett Horn. So the Rangers are officially all in. Another trade that I think is underrated is two teams that made a trade that are both in the fight. So the Phillies and the Tigers, both division leaders. The Phillies got Matt Manning, and the Tigers got Josué Quinones, the outfielder. So Phillies needed some more pitching. They've been dying for more pitching. They got pitching, and the Tigers have now Josué. So after that, then a guy that had gotten traded earlier, so Taylor Rogers, had been traded with the Ke'Bryan Hayes trade from the Reds to the Pirates, and then the Pirates traded him to the Cubs. So now the Cubs got two pitchers, one for the bullpen, one probably for starting, and that really strengthens what they need. Then the Yankees made the first main move to help their pitching issues, which was they got Jake Bird from the Rockies for two prospects, Rock Reggio and Ben Shields. The Tigers then acquired right-handed pitcher Paul Sewell from the Guardians, basically for cash or maybe a player to be named later. Then they got right-handed pitcher Kyle Finnegan from the Nationals for Josh Randall and RJ Sales. Tigers are all in. I love it. You can tell these teams are all in, making multiple moves to get everything to be the way you want. The Dodgers acquired right-handed pitcher Brock Stewart from the Twins for outfielder James Outman. Then the Padres acquired a catcher, which was a very underrated move for the Padres. They get Freddie Furman from the Royals for 2 prospect pitchers, Ryan Berger and Stephen Kolek. The Brewers made a huge move. The Diamondbacks have sold off basically everybody. The Brewers acquired Shelby Miller and Jordan Montgomery from the Diamondbacks for cash or players to be named later. The Cubs get a little bit better with the Bats, get a utility man in Willie Castro from the Twins for Sam Armstrong and Ryan Gallagher. The Astros strengthened their outfielder by getting Jesus Sanchez from the Marlins for Ryan Gusto. The Rays, in a really surprising move, acquired Adrian Hauser from the White Sox for 3 prospects. So the White Sox, everybody expected them to be the worst team in Major League Baseball. They are not. They have a couple of young pitchers that are good. They got a couple of guys that can really play. They are not that bad by any means. Okay? The Padres then acquired Hector Nortes from the Brewers for an outfielder. The Royals are still going after everything. They strengthened their outfield again after getting Grichuk. They traded Junior Marte to the Giants for outfielder Mike Yaz, as everybody knows him as. And then the Tigers made a huge move. A huge move. They got Charlie Morton, the starting pitcher from the Orioles, for Micah Ashman, the left-handed pitcher from the AAA. All right, then we get into what is basically known as the main trades. Okay, the main trades are Yankees acquired Jose Caballero from the Rays for an outfield prospect and a player to be named later, or cash. Big move by the Yankees. The Reds, like I said, acquired Ke'Bryan Hayes from the Pirates for 2 players, 1 prospect and 1, which the Pirates have already traded Taylor Rogers back over to the Cubs. The Mets then acquired Cedric Mullins from the Orioles for Anthony Nunez, Ramon Gomez, Chandler Marsh. So the Mets get Cedric Mullins. Big get for them. For 3 players. 3 players. Huge. Absolutely huge trade. Orioles really, I think, came out on top on that one, only because of how everything played out. I think at the end of the day, the Mets got what they need, but the Orioles are rebuilding for the future. It's very clear. The Phillies got Harrison Bader from the Twins for 2 prospects. Then you had the Reds. Again, another move by the Reds. They got pitcher Zach Littell starting pitching for the Reds. They're hoping Hunter Green can come back. They believe their rotation's one of the best, at least top 10 in the league. And this ended up being a 3-team trade where the Rays got 2 players and the Dodgers ended up getting 3 out of this. So it ended up being a 3-team trade, but the main one was the starting pitcher from the Rays going to the Reds. The Mets acquired Tyler Rogers from the Giants for 3 players. So I think the Giants are kind of officially in the sell mode as well. Yankees acquired Camilo Doval from the Giants for 4 prospects. So the Giants basically have gotten like 9 or 10 prospects today. The Rays acquired Griffin Jax from the Twins for Taj Bradley. It's kind of a wash trade if you ask me. I don't think either team really gets better or worse with it. But then the Red Sox made a trade, and this was shocking by the Dodgers. Knowing they need help in the rotation, they went to the Dodgers, and the Dodgers said yes. The Red Sox gave up 2 prospects to get Dustin May. Dustin May could get injured. Like, injuries is what they're worried about, but he's been really, really good this year. So I love that aspect of this. The Red Sox are taking a chance. They got Steven Matz. They got Dustin May. If both of them pan out, guess what? The Red Sox are going to be tough. The Mariners, to me, the Mariners flat out won. They flat out won this trade deadline going away. They got Josh Naylor from the Diamondbacks for 2 prospects. The Yankees acquired Ryan McMahon from the Rockies. They figured out they got their third baseman issue taken care of for 2 prospects. Now, the Rockies are looking good. The Padres, this is the big trade I was talking about. The Orioles gave up Ryan O'Hearn and Ramon Laureano for 6 prospects. You heard me right, 6. Outstanding. Stellar move by the Orioles. Most of them believe they won this trade. Most everybody believes the Orioles won this trade. It is a move for the Padres for this year because of how soft their lineup was down at the bottom. That's a big move. The Blue Jays then went to the Guardians. They got Shane Bieber from the Guardians for prospect Carl Steven. The Mets acquired Ryan Helsley from the Cardinals because they needed bullpen help for 3 prospects. The Rangers making another move, and the Diamondbacks making another move. Rangers got Merrill Kelly from the Diamondbacks, which I think really fits for Kelly, for 3 prospects. Then you have this trade right here, the Bednar trade for the Yankees. They acquired David Bednar, the stellar closer from the Pirates, for 3 prospects. Flores, Perez, both catchers, and outfielder Brian Sanchez. This really works for the Pirates. I just obviously don't trust them to do anything with it going forward, obviously. But it does, if they were a smart organization, this trade actually works really well for them because Bednar does nothing for your future, and this trade actually kind of strengthens some of the issues for them. The Phillies then acquired Johan Duran from the Twins for 2, Mick Abel, who's been up and down, and then Eduardo Tate, the catcher. The Mariners acquired the third baseman after the physical, Eugenio Suarez from the Diamondbacks for 3 prospects. So the Diamondbacks and Orioles both had really great prospect days. They got younger, they got more club control over their team, and now they're building again for the future as all these teams are now getting the 1-year guys, 2-year guys. So look out for the Diamondbacks in 2 or 3 years again. They're going to retool, rebuild, and move forward. The Astros got Carlos Correa back and cash, $33 million in cash, to help with his contract from the Twins. It helps the Twins. They're done. They got a left-handed pitcher from the Astros. I think it was just one of those things where it was time and we're going to redo everything. And then a huge trade for the Padres to finish out the day. The Athletics get 4 prospects for Mason Miller and J.P. Sears. Both very solid young pitching. And they turned them into guys that can really help in other areas on the team. Most notably, Leo DeVries, the shortstop, which I think has a chance to start at either short or second base for the Athletics next year. So there's teams that are out. There's teams that are going to start losing more. Now, the disparity between 3rd and 4th place, I think, is going to widen. Absolutely. But the parity this year, because of how close everything is, everybody thinks they still have a chance. The wild card setup right now. We'll just go over the wild card because obviously Monday we'll do our reset for the month of August. You've got 1, 2, 3. Well, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got 7 teams within 7 games, but the Orioles are that 7th team. They're 7 games back. The Twins are 5.5 out of the wild card, but they've sold a bunch of stuff. So there's still a bunch of teams sitting there. The National League is actually the one that's farther apart. The Reds, Cardinals, and Giants are the teams that are 6 games behind the wild card spot. Marlins are 7, Diamondbacks are 9, Pirates are 13, and Braves are 14. And it just obviously goes down from there. The worst team in baseball right now is still the Colorado Rockies. They're 28 and 80. They've been 4 and 6 in their last 10 though. I mean, they swept the Cardinals, and they play hard. But right now, it definitely looks like the American League is a little bit stronger than the National League. And you've got some really interesting teams at the bottom of the National League. Like the Braves are because of the pitching injuries. I don't want to freak out over that. They'll bounce back. They'll be okay. And we'll see what happens. But it is going to be wild as we come down here closing out. I think the American League could really get choppy as we get down to the end of the season. Who's going to do what and how everything's going to be played. So, absolutely love it. It's trade deadline, one of my favorite days. And that is where all these teams currently are at. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Trade deadline is my favorite time of year. We'll be back to the training camp preview tomorrow night on Friday. But make it the best Friday you can. If it's payday, there you go. Don't spend it all in one place. If it's not, sorry, can't, yeah. Fridays are always better when it's payday. So, all right, guys, have a fantastic rest of your evening. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, for Sports Talk with Hawk, I am Hawk, and I'm out. Have a great night, guys.